Hello, my name is Mark Anthony Dubose Jr., and I was born July 4th of 1986. Today I want to talk about something that I think a lot of us are very, very confused at and very misled is something that I really come to understand. When it comes down to talking about demons and Satan and all this demon stuff and the devils and all these things and people being demon possessed and we got a lot of people out here today that are walking up and down and preaching to you. I can what do you call them? Demon slayers, that they're out here putting hands on you to get the demons out of you and putting hands on you to release the demons from you and get demons out of your world. And they say that, you know, Jesus was doing that. So Jesus was telling everyone to go out there and do that, to get all the demons out, be a demon slayer. It's like, what the heck is going on here? Because in reality, if you believe in Jesus, there's just no way you can possibly have a demon or a devil or any of that inside of you. He could taunt you. He could tempt you. He could be out there to try and get you to do something, to get you to get in the act of, but it's not something that has possessed inside of you. Because there's just one thing that is stated over and over and over and over again when Jesus is constantly out here being his demon slayer, doing his work. I think it's only said about 12 times or so, about a dozen times that he says that that's what he does. That's not the majority of what it is that he does, and that's not the absolute of what he does, and that's not all that it is that he does. That's a very small minority of things that he does in reality. And the main thing behind this is the people that are possessed with these demons are people that clearly don't believe. People that clearly don't understand the gospel. People that clearly don't understand who Jesus is. People that clearly don't understand who the one true creator of the God of this world is. So Jesus comes in and he sees this person that's possessed, and it's every single time it's explained in a way of being able for us to really just see the physical effects. Where a kid was mute, where someone was blind, someone was deaf, where you can see there's like physical things going on with that person that's hindering them from being what you would say is a whole regular looking, normal looking person. There's something very significant going on with them, where they're having these like absolute seizures. That's because one of the boys, he was having seizures to the point that it was throwing him in water and throwing him in fire, just trying to kill him. And it's super savage that there's these things that are actually going on with their physical bodies, that Jesus came and these demons left, and then their physical bodies, they were normal again. There was the guys in the tombs that no one could chain and hold down. They were just savage, they were wild, and no one could be around them. Then when Jesus came and took these demons out of them, instantly, that these people just became, you say, just normal people, just regular people. And something interesting that we got this going on today, that we got a lot of these demon slayers and these guys that are putting hands on you to get the demons out of you. If you have a demon in you, it's because you don't understand and don't know who God is and know who Jesus is. But the second that you do, the second that you decide to say, you know what, I believe in Jesus, I got faith in Jesus, I understand who he is, I understand what he's all about, I understand what he's done for me, and I understand what he's going to continue to keep on doing for me doing nothing at all, nothing but just waking up and being alive. God has done so much for you. To just be here, to be able to do what it is that you do, to be able to have what we have, to just be in existence. God has done so much, an overwhelming amount that we will never ever be able to understand. But we got a lot of people out here that are just doing all this, that's just trying to get these demons out of you. That's why you're struggling in life. That's why you can't keep relationships, because you got the demon of this, you got the demon of that, you got the demon of these, and the demon of the of being lazy, and the demon of too much, and the demon of just all these demons in you. And then only soon when you get all these demons out, then you're going to be able to live a good life. Something like that, you know, I guess I appreciate it because it sounds good. It sounds really good because it puts all the blame on something else as opposed to just you. Why wouldn't you just look at your own self and just say, you know what, why am I not getting what it is that man, it's a big guns shooting over there. Why am I not getting what it is that I want to be getting? Instead of thinking there's a demon and there's this and there's that, and there's this, just why wouldn't you just look at it and just say, what am I doing? What am I lacking in? What am I not being true to my own self with? Why am I actually truly struggling here? Why am I running the stumbling blocks when I'm trying to follow and go into this and go into that, as opposed to going to what it is that's actually going to help you? Following the one true thing that's actually going to be able to bring you what it is that you're looking for, as opposed to going to these other places and running into failure. So it is a good message because it's a good message to make you feel good. It's a good message to get what you want to hear. Not that it's you that needs some things to work on, that it's them, it's this, it's that. And it can make your life seem to be a little bit better for a short time, for a little bit. but it's not something that's going to bring you any sort of long-term success. It may make you feel good for a weekend, for a day, for an hour. But then you're going to run into something that you're going to see like, oh, here's the next thing. So you got this one demon out of you, the demon of lust got out of you. You finally got this demon out, but you realize that you got a new thing over here that you're struggling with. And you're like, oh, now I got a new demon because that demon got out, and I got these other demons. I got this demon, and not just realizing that there's just some things that you got to work upon yourself, that you got to have an intimate relationship with the Creator, with God, with Jesus, to be able to figure out how to be able to get through and be able to get what it is that you want on this planet. Instead of thinking that these other things are hindering and blocking you, as opposed to you just your own self saying to your own self and not believing, not having faith, is something that is really going to slow you down on this planet and really going to really just damage you. Because it's something that's said that is really interesting about the further and the further and the times that we're going to have itchy ears to hear things we want to hear, and we're going to be a generation of people that want to see the miracles to have any sort of belief. That the miracles were already in place, and that's the reason we had this book today. We had this book today, the Bible today, because of what people have seen was so great, so amazing, so just out of this world that they had to keep, they saw it and they know about it. There's certain events that happen in life. There's someone that said to me, that's something that's just really powerful to me. There's certain events that happen. So for me, an event that happens that I just remember a whole lot of, that was not recent in my life, but I could say recent in my life, was on the whole September 11th of 2001, when that day went down. What were you doing? And if you're old enough to understand this, and you're old, because I was in, what was it, 8th grade? I was in 8th grade when that happened. I don't know, I was in high school maybe. Yeah, 8th grade. No, high school. That was freshman, sophomore year. I know where I was now. Sophomore year of high school. And exactly, I know where I was. I know what I was doing. I know who I was on the phone with when that went down. And then he's the one that actually told me. He's like, hey, this just went on. Weird that I was even on the phone with this specific person and what were going on there. And old phones back in the days when we had the cordless ones then. We still weren't hooked to that cord. We got past that, but we had cordless phones out there and talking. I remember so much about what was going on and what I was talking about and where I was at and what was happening. And it's something that I could just never, ever, it could just never let go. That there's times and things like that have happened in life. That when I was in Afghanistan and I was seeing some things and being about some stuff in 2009, of March of 2009, I remember exactly where I was, what I was doing, in one specific scene that I'll just never, ever be able to forget. I just know what I was doing. I know the people that were around. I remember the smells. I remember there's just some things that happen in our life that we can never just forget about it. It's there. It's stuck in your brain. It's so stuck in your brain that the facts that are in your brain are the real facts. It's not something that you just made up, that you just tried to make better or make worse, because it's something that was just or traumatic or super exciting, but something super interesting, just change of life happened. And something miraculous happened, good or bad, that happened, that you just remember all of it. And that's why we have this Bible today, because people saw things that are just like, that just doesn't make sense. What the heck? That doesn't make sense. How did that happen? And that's in reality kind of the majority of what all the New Testament is all about. The witnesses of seeing some stuff and what was going on. Where the Old Testament is more of a history of where we came and what was going on and how it was evolved. It's much differently written, and it's much differently written in a way for us to really have a good understanding of who God is and what he's all about. Knowing that he came here and he showed us and did some stuff that we can't just ignore. We can't just forget. We can't just say it didn't happen. But it's very interesting that Jesus talks about these demons, and he talks about these devils, and he talks about these possessed people. But he talks about it as if it's not everybody. It's some. And there's something that is very interesting that goes on when these demons and these devils and these things see Jesus. That they run up to him and bow down and they get down. The actual human being, the demon-possessed person, runs up, bows down, and says, oh my goodness, I know who you are. Are you going to finally put me into the abyss? Is the time here now? Or what's going on with you? What are you going to do to me? And then that's when Jesus looks at him and says, you know what, in reality, I'm just going to get you out of this person for now, because your time's not up yet. Time's coming soon. And we don't know when that time is. We don't know where it is and how it's going to happen, but the time's soon. And when that time comes, then you're going to go to the abyss. But for now, Jesus has extreme authority, extreme power, ownership over these demons. Like he is able to he stops, he speaks. He doesn't even need to speak that these demons just shiver and they stop and they slow down and they're just like, I don't want to deal with this. And that's the power of what Jesus is all about. That when you believe in him and you got faith in him, that you understand him, you want to be very, very close to him. You want to be guided. You want to live by him. These demons have no way to be able to possess and be inside of you, for you to have to throw up, for you to have to do any weird stuff with and fall out and have a revelation of shaking on the ground and doing all these things. There's no demons inside of you if you've already confessed the name of, you appreciate and love and want Jesus in your life. So it's something that, I don't know what it is, but I want to read something here that I think is really interesting. And it's in the book of Mark, in the 9th chapter and the 31st verse. It says, "Teacher," said John, "we saw someone driving out demons in your name, and we told him to stop, but because he was not one of us. Do not stop him," Jesus said, "for no one who does a miracle in my name can the next moment say anything bad about me. For whoever is not against us is for us. Truly I tell you, anyone who gives a cup of water in my name because you belong to the Messiah will certainly not lose their reward. If anyone," and we're going to go on to verse 42, "if anyone causes one of these little ones, those who believe in me, to stumble, it would be better for them if a large millstone were hung around their neck and they were thrown into the sea. If their hand causes them to stumble, cut it off. It is better for them to enter life maimed than with 2 hands and go to hell, where the fire does not go out. And if your foot causes you to stumble, cut it off. It is better for you to enter life crippled than to have 2 feet and thrown into hell. And if your eye causes you to stumble, pluck it out. It is better for you to enter the kingdom of God with 1 eye than to have 2 eyes and be thrown into hell, where the worms that eat do not die and the fire is not quenched. Everyone will be salted in fire. Salt is good, but if it loses its saltiness, how can it make the salt again? It's salted among you, and peace be each other." There's something interesting here, because when the teacher comes up, or John comes up to the teacher of Jesus, he says, there's some people out here that are casting demons out, or at least they're attempting to, and they're attempting to do it in your name. What should we do about such a people? And that's what Jesus says. He says, hey, that's cool. That's cool. They can do that. They can make that happen, because when they do it and say it in my name, it's totally acceptable. It's totally all right. So he's saying that there's some people out here that's got some demons in them, and there's some people out here that need these demons to be relieved. But the main thing is, once these demons get relieved, then they start to believe in who Jesus is, and then these demons are no longer going to be able to come around. But the big thing is, these people didn't believe in Jesus, that they were demon possessed because they did not believe at all, because they rejected it, because they didn't know, because they didn't care, because of whatever reasons that were inside of them, that they didn't know who he was, they didn't know about God, they didn't know anything about it, that these demons were inside of these people. And so the calling upon the name of Jesus is how to be able to get these demons out. And it's very interesting, because that's something that is stated over and over again. That's why it's something that I would question a lot, is how come the disciples they didn't have no demons? And if they did, why didn't Jesus take the demons out of them? Jesus had a guy that was with him that he knew was going to turn him in. Jesus had a guy that was with him that he knew was going to deny him and try to just run away from him. Jesus had all kinds of sticky situations going on in his life. These people had demons. Why didn't Jesus just cast these demons out? Maybe because they didn't have any demons. Maybe because these demons may be able to influence you from the outside to get you to do some stuff, but they are not actually inside of you to just consume you and take over you and make you do some things. Because this is something that is, I'm going to say, it's very dangerous when it comes down to preaching a message like this, that the demon made me do it. Because that's something that I'm starting to hear today. And that's something that is, like I said, very dangerous. Because then it doesn't make you have the accountability anymore. It makes you think that, oh, that over there did it, that source came inside of me, it made me do it, and then now I did something wrong, and I'm not going to be held accountable because it was that demon that possessed me, that drove me to do such a thing. But if you're a person that believes in Jesus, you're a person that believes in God, you're the person that believes in the one creator, you're the person that believes that we're out here because of that, how did that demon convince you to do such a thing? Why wouldn't you, your own self, just take accountability and just say, you know what, I messed up. I didn't do right. I was sloppy here. I paid attention to that. I know I shouldn't have been talking to that girl and being a married dude And it just, I just kept doing it, knowing that I shouldn't have done it. Instead of it just being a demon of lust that came in you that had to do such. No, it was you that did it. You that made that phone call. You that followed through with that text. You that showed up in the situation. You that kept going on. You knowing inside of you, you got a burning desire saying, I don't want to do this. Maybe I shouldn't do this. This isn't right. I might get in trouble. Something's going down. I don't know what's going on. You're going through all these thoughts. You're going through all these feelings, but yet you still do it anyways. And then you're going to say, oh no, it was a demon that did it to me. It overcame me and I don't know what I was doing. Instead of just, I just did it. I did it. I did it. I did. I knew I was wrong. I even felt it in myself I was wrong. I was even conflicted knowing that I was wrong, but yet I still just did it anyways. Just accept that. And in reality, you're going to have a much better life in this experience, because then you're going to hold yourself accountable to know that since you are the one that did it, you are the one to be able to help and be able to get through it, and not being a liar, not being something that's trying to deceive, not trying to hide what you're doing. No, God knows it all. He sees it all. He has an understanding of it all. Especially if you believe in him. I'm telling you, there's just no textual proof that a demon is inside of someone who believes in Jesus, because Jesus is the ultimate authority he is the ultimate authority of Satan, of the devil, of demons, of all of this stuff. The ultimate authority that they are terrified. They are extremely they can't stand being around him. They know when they see Jesus, they're just like, I just quit. I forfeit. I'm not even going to try to put up a fight. They don't even put up a fight. They just quit. They just submit. They're just like, oh, man's here. Man's here. The owner is here, is what it is. The owner is here. I know that we trying to rebel a little bit, but the owner is here. We have no authority over the owner. That's how far down that these things are from the creator, the owner of the whole situation here. The owner shows up, and everyone's just like, we thought we were in charge. This is something I can put in a 100% example of, just working with some silly little chickens out there. They out there fighting and doing what they doing. They think they tough. There's one that thinks it's tough, but when I show up, I'm the ultimate owner that comes in and is just like, y'all are done. We're finished. And they all just stop. They just look at me, they look at each other just like, the boss man is here. But then as soon as I leave, then they're just right back to doing bickering, and one thinks it's tougher, and they go right back to the same mess again. That's exactly how a God is to the demons. God shows up, Jesus shows up, and these demons are just like, yeah, let's play smooth, let's play good, we're good. We didn't do anything wrong. Everything is good. Everything is awesome. Hey, we're not doing anything bad here. Like, and they're begging because they don't want to have to leave. They don't want to have to go. They want to be able to stay and do what it is that they do, because they realize the life that they currently have is a good life. They don't want to go to where they know they're going to have to go to. They would rather just stay where they are, because they're living pretty smooth right now. They don't want to go into the nothingness. So when Jesus comes, they're going to be on their, say, best behavior in reality, because they know that they have to submit, that he has all authority. So if you believe in Jesus, these demons are not going to be able to get inside of you and start to possess you. And then the main thing is, the main challenge, the main figuring out behind this is if you're getting the true message. That's why the whole concept of when it's speaking of you stumbling, causing someone to stumble. If you're going to someone to say, oh, you believe in Jesus? Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, you got these demons in you? That's why you're still struggling. Regardless of how much Jesus you believe, these demons are what are slowing you down. Now, if you as a person are spitting the message out there for people, I know how to get you healed and get you cured, that I can say these prayers and get these demons off you and get these demons out of you, you are making people stumble, because you're giving them a false representation of who Jesus is all about. You're making Jesus seem as he's just this weak, pathetic nothingness, that he's not a God, that he's not a supreme being, that he's not the ultimate authority. You're making Jesus seem as if he's just less than what you are as a human being, because you are a human being to be able to put hands on, to be able to allow them to be able to get these demons out. Now, if they don't believe in Jesus, they don't have no faith in Jesus, yes, that may be the starting cue to be able to get people to understand who he is. But as soon as you take that, say, demon out of them, then they should never be demon possessed again, correct? Because now they have Jesus. Now they believe in Jesus. Now they have trust in Jesus. So that should no longer be an issue for them. But yeah, we got people saying, the reason you got the incubus this, the succubus this, the Jezebel this, the lustful of this, the greed and the envious of this, as opposed to just being, that's just what we are as human beings, people. We got problems, we got flaws, we got issues, we damaged. We all, that's a term that I hear, and it just I'm like, I don't like it when people say that. And it's mainly guys that say it to girls. A girl is got a kid or two or three, or if she got 80 kids, it don't matter, 1 or 80. It's in reality, at the end of the day, the same thing. But a lot of these guys sit out here and say, oh, she's damaged goods because she has this. She's damaged because she's been divorced. She's damn. And it's just like, dude, who do you think you are? You think you perfect? You think you got it all good? You think you've never done anything wrong? You think that you don't have anything in your back history that's gonna set you up for this next person to look at you as you are that one that's got something wrong? Yeah, we all are damaged goods in reality out here on this planet doing what we're doing, living and being. We are all damaged. We all struggle. We all hurt. We all are falling short from what it is that we should be doing. We all are, and we're just born into that. We just created into that. We didn't get a choice, unfortunately. But in reality, if you did have a choice, which way would you want to take? Because I still, there's something that a guy said long ago that I was just like, if you lived a life of just everything was perfect. That's why for me, I still challenge this whole like living in bliss and all peace and all greatness, because if you live in that for so long, you're going to get to the point that it's just going to get boring. There's no way that it wouldn't. There's no way. Everything just turns out right. Everything was good to go. Everything was just smooth. Everything was just always successful. I don't know. For each person, it may take a different amount of time. For someone, it might be like a month or two where you're just like, you know what? I need some excitement. In reality, is some tragedy. I need some excitement. I need something. I need something different here, because this is just, if this is what it's always going to be, I don't know if I want to deal with that. Some of them might be a couple months. Some of them might be a couple years. Some of them might be a couple centuries. You might be able to live that for 400 or 500 years and just say, I'm fine with this. But at some point, I'm just going to almost guarantee that we're going to get at a point of like frustration, where it's just like, man, this perfectness though, this is hard. That's why I would say being God, being the God of this world and creating all this and having to be perfect, gosh, that's got to be such a challenging role, knowing that everything is just going good. And that's why I can say, like, why we're here, because we're not so perfect. And it's such an interesting thing for God to be able to watch, manage, and control and maintain, seeing like not everything is so perfect. Something that he created that started perfect, that was right, ended up messing up. And then he's looking at it like, whoa, we got some, the only way I can put it is excitement going on here. Tragedy isn't all bad. Tragedy isn't all like just doom and gloom and the end of this and the end of that. No, sometimes it's excitement because it allows you to be able to see who you are and what you're capable of. It allows you to be able to move into more greatness and more better things about your own self. It allows you to be able to just really reflect on who you are. When things happen to you, it allows you to see who you are. When bad things go on, when things don't line up, when things fall through, it makes you see who you are as a person. And it's something that is just an absolutely magical, miracle type thing for us. It's not tragedy. But we got a lot out here going on where we're trying to manipulate, and in reality, we're taking money. I'll heal you. Send me some of my Cash App. Send me 100. Send me 200. Send me 800, and I'll get on a Zoom call with you, and I'll give you that's what they call it, deliverance. I'll give you a deliverance. We got the deliverance ministries. I'll get all these demons out of you, because Jesus isn't enough. Jesus is so basic, so small, so little that Jesus isn't enough. I need you now. You need a human being to be able to get all this out of you, that Jesus isn't good enough. That is so evil is all I can say. Is you're trying to take the credit as a human being for your own self, your own glory, as opposed to giving it to Jesus and giving it to God as it should be intended. I'm not out here that's going to ever be able to save you. I'm not out here that's ever going to be able to put hands on you to get these things out of you. No, I'm here to link you up with the one that can. The only one that can. The only being that can, the only essence, the being supreme, anything that can, is Jesus, to be able to do all this work. I can't. No other human being on the face of this planet is ever going to be able to get you out of what it is that you're in. Any sort of addiction, any sort of trouble, any sort of anything that's going on with you. It's just not. Jesus isn't going to. Jesus isn't going to help you with, you got too much, you don't know what to do and where to go. I mean, a human being isn't going to help you with any of that. Only Jesus will. Only Jesus is going to be able to bring you into where it is that you want to go next. No ministry, no deliverance stuff, no anything is going. They're just a person to be able to give the information, to be able to give you the understanding of who and how you're going to be able to get what it is that you're looking for. And it's something that just goes on like crazy today that is just, it's maddening, I guess I could say, but it's sad because I can see how it's just taking advantage of people. Taking advantage of people that are hurting. Taking advantage of people that are broke down. And then taking advantage of them in a way to try to make yourself look to be something that is so great and so awesome and so amazing that they need to worship, they need to follow, they need to pay attention to, as opposed to just like reading the Bible for yourself, praying and asking for yourself, leaning upon and looking for God, Jesus yourself, and having that relationship yourself. That there's no that is the interim place to be able to get to God is Jesus, not a human being, not me, not nobody, not nothing, not anything out here. No one out here. It's Jesus. Jesus to the Father. The only way to the Father is through Jesus to the Father. That is it. There's no anyone else that has the authority on this planet, in this lands, in this world, in this universe, in this anywhere that's going to be able to get you to get to God, to get to the graces, the good graces of God. It's Jesus and then to God. There's no human to this, to this. No, it's Jesus, and it's stated like that over and over again for a reason. And there's so many times it's stated in the Bible of what it is that we should be staying away from, who it is that we shouldn't be paying attention to, what it is that is destroying us. And just looking at your life and just in reality taking more accountability for what it is that you're doing. And stop trying to push it off to somebody else. Stop trying to think that somebody else is your problem. Maybe it's just you. Maybe it's what you're doing. Maybe it's how you're thinking. Maybe it's what you're viewing. Maybe it's what you're seeing that's causing you all of these issues. It's not anybody else. No one's going to be able to do something for you. You're not going to be able to pay enough money. That's the one thing that is just maddening about what Jesus does. When did Jesus say, hey, you know what? If you touch my cloak, you got to give me some of this and then I'll heal you. If you got a demon and I lay hands on you and that demon gets out, that you got to pay me this payment first and then I'll put hands on you and then I'll heal you. Your son has passed away, put something in my Cash App and then I'll come over there and then I'll heal you. He just never does that. He never does such a thing. And that's something that is dangerous. And not only just that, it's just toxic because it's making people be in a position where they are like trying to act and to be as close to, as equal as who God is all about. And that is just absolute maddening. And I don't understand why it is that it's so easy for us to follow that, but I get it. It sounds good. It looks pretty. It sounds nice. And instead of taking accountability for ourselves, it sounds nice to say that's the problem you got. You got that demon, and that's why you have a problem. And then when you get that demon out, now you got a new demon. And when you get that demon out, now you got a new demon. And that demon out, and then you got a new demon, and a new demon, and a new demon, and a new demon, and a new one. And then you got this over here. Then you got that over there. Then you got this witchcraft over here that's hitting you. You got that over there. You got these people stalking you over here. You got this happening over here. As opposed to just saying, man, I'm messing up. I messed up. I'm not doing what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm getting conflicted. I'm getting all these issues because I'm not doing what it is that I should be doing. I'm messing up. And coming out with a prayer of just saying, God, show me what the heck I'm messing up with because my life is just a mess. Show me where it is that I'm failing at. Show me what it is I need to work on. Show me a little bit of the lessons that I'm being taught right now so that I can get to where it is that I want to get to, as opposed to just being blind and just running around and don't know where to go. And then Jesus is going to stand right in front of you and he's going to, there it is. And you follow him. You follow everything that he does. You follow everything that he says. You follow every path that he takes. Instead of trying to I don't want to believe in that. I want to go over here instead. And that's what this Bible is an interesting book for, because it's a guide to show us what to follow and where to follow. And when you pick it up and you read something, you're like, I don't agree with that. I want to go over here instead. That's when it's just like, Jesus is like, you know what, man? What am I supposed to do? I laid it all out for you. I gave it to you. Even if you don't want to go into the point of having an understanding of praying and getting the spirit in you to really start to conflict, he gave us something actual physical to be able to touch, read, understand, and comprehend. Something physical. Not something that is just some spirit, supernatural. The clouds came and it made a sign and did this hey, Oreo, you creeping, homie. Get down. No clouds that did this, no random phone number that calls you with a random weird name or just start to hidden this thing. No, there's no hidden things. It's written down in a physical aspect for us to be able to read, for us to be able to understand, for us to follow. And we have to follow that. And the more we follow that, the more we're going to figure out what it is that's going on with us. There's no shortcuts here. There's no fast things here. There's no just instant successes here. There's things that we are constantly keeping on doing so that are constantly keeping on growing. And that's in reality, the point of why we're here. It's not going to be perfect. It's not going to be easy. It's not going to be awesome. It's not going to be amazing all day, all the time, over and over. There's things that we're constantly working on to figure out who we are, what we are, to be able to have an interesting experience on this planet, to learn more, to be able to be about more, as opposed to just having a life that is just dull and boring. And dull and boring, I'm telling you, is going to be that in reality, that perfectness where everything just lines up, everything is good to go. I'm telling you, you're going to get sick of it. You're going to be like, man, I just want to, let me stumble a little bit so that I can get myself out of it to get back into that goodness. Then you're like, okay, now this is awesome. You'll never ever appreciate the good if you didn't have the bad. And if you never had no bad, you'll never really be able to appreciate the good because you'll just be in it. You'll be stuck in it. We have to have both. We have to swing from both. And that's where it's interesting that I could say that this Bible is fascinating because of how the story progresses and what goes on with it. That God's looking at it being perfect, not really knowing how to deviate from that in a way. He may understand what bad is, but he lives in such a way that's good. and being able to see something that could swing from both is probably like the most interesting, fascinating thing that he's probably ever been able to see, ever been able to witness. That's why we're out here doing what we're doing. I just have a good understanding of he's just like, this is awesome. This is the coolest thing ever. This is absolutely amazing. As opposed to us being here living thinking that we are meaningless and we are nothing and we are pointless and we are nothing. That is not what we are. We are absolutely incredible. We are something that is just beyond awesome. And we need to understand that. We need to live that, and we need to be that. And the only way that we're really going to be able to move forward in our life is taking accountability and going straight to Jesus, not thinking that there's going to be a human that's going to be able to solve your issues. There's not. Jesus is going to. And the more that you just go to that, the more that you just push that, the more that you understand it, the better off you're going to be. Don't look at me as I'm this, I'm that. I've got the courage to sit here sitting on a water barrel today, but sitting out here and doing what I'm doing, and I got the answers. And no, I don't have the answers. I sure don't. I know that every single day I'm working on figuring out more and more and more. I'm working on figuring out how to be able to get to that next stage of where it is that I want to keep on going. Every single day I'm constantly looking at something that I said before, and I'm just like, oh no, see, I'm wrong here. I read it again and reread it again, and I'm like, nah, I see what's going on here. So it's something interesting that just reading a little today about just the concept of someone out here trying to get you to mess up. They're trying to get you to pay attention to something that you need not to pay attention to. They're trying to get you to focus on something so that they can validate their own selves, so that they can keep on making them own selves look better and get more and have more and be about more and do more. When you're out there still broke as all could be, you can't even function. Barely could buy a pack of eggs right now because you're just like, oh, I'm not paying no $8 for that. And they're out here doing what they're doing, living in absolute luxury, living a really good life. There's some of us that want to live a really good life right here, right now, and there's some of us that want to build up to be able to have that. And some of us that want it right now, they're really good at manipulating everything. And that's why God says, if you got issues where you're trying to make someone else stumble to get away from Jesus, the real true God, the God that's the supreme being, not this, he's weak and demons and devils are stronger than him and they are no good, no match for him. No, not that stupid madness. He says to cut your dang hand off, cut your foot off, take your eye out, because it's better for you to be broke down, have half of what you should have, than to go into hell, because hell is absolute worthlessness. But some people are cool with that. They signed up for that deal and they're like, I'm actually happy with this deal. I'll take that deal because I want the fame, I want the glory, I want the funds, I want the everything now. I want it now. That's what I want. And it's setting people up for failure, because when someone is hurting, when someone is destroyed, and when someone knows that they're setting their life up for absolute failure, they try to get everyone else involved in that. They try to bring more and more people into that. It is what it is. And I don't understand why, but it just is what it is. And there's the opposite side of it, that people that are wanting to do good and wanting to be great and wanting to help people out, they try to do everything they can to help them people. And it's for us to make a decision. Which side of this do you want to go? You want to go to the side that's going to lead you to just absolute just confusion? Or do you want to go lead or push yourself into the point of being able to find out and recognize and realize who you are? And for me, I'd rather go into the position of realizing who I am and not going, I don't know why this chicken is scared. Instead of going into the position of being more and more confused. I've been my whole life trying to figure out how to get out of the confusion. And since I've been getting out of the confusion, I have no choice but to try to help the next person get out of that confusion. And the number one way I know is being able to get out of the confusion is not thinking that there's going to be a human being on this planet that's going to be able to say something or do something and be about anything that'll be able to help you get out of that confusion in reality. They may be able to say some things to help guide you, but Jesus is the only one that's going to be able to give you that. Jesus is the only one that's going to be able to bring you out of that confusion. Jesus is the only one that's going to be able to bring you to God, to be able to allow you to be able to live. That's it. That's all that there is. And with that, man, I just want to say thank you. Thank you for a very interesting week so far, and something that I've just learned this week a little bit more on paying closer attention to is start to follow God a little bit more. Start to follow Jesus. Start to notice that when things really start to get into me and get on my brain and get in my mind of just let's go there, as opposed to just trying to run away from it. When I'm reading something and I'm just like, I don't know, man, that's some hard teaching right there. I don't agree with that, is what I would say. I say, okay, I need to lean into this even more. I need to really focus on this and double down on this and start to asking questions like, why? Why is it that I am kind of trying to reject this right now, as opposed to just accepting that and just following and starting to learn to follow more, as opposed to thinking that I'm the one that knows where to go and how to go and what to do. And it's been able to just really bring me into such an even more peaceful place in my life, because I'm simple human being out here. in reality, meaningless human being out here compared to what the magnificentness is of what God's all about. And it's not that I'm here to have any sort of glory. I'm here to have any sort of fame. No, it's for me to make sure that all of that glory, all that fame, all of that recognition goes straight to God. And that's all I'm going to continue to keep on doing every single day. That I don't want anything, because God is going to guide me to where it is that I need to go. And he's going to continue to keep doing that. And the more that I just keep following the direction of what I'm constantly reading and having a good understanding of, the more I'm going to be able to have that level of peace that I'm looking for. And it may not come and look the way that everyone else wants, that I don't have all the fancy cars and all the naked women around and all the awesome accessories and all the trips going everywhere. And like, I don't have all that, but that's not what's going to make me happy. I know that me just being able to be satisfied, be humbled, and just hang out and just be able to sit on a water barrel outside and just hang out for 8 hours and just realize, like, that's pretty satisfying. That I don't need this, and this, and this to be able to do anything. That I'm happy. I'm good to go. Thank you.